So that's why we have.
What do you mean? I don't get what you mean by that. When it comes to mistreating black people, we know who they are.
So when you talk about the slave trade and colonizing kind of countries,
who talks about that though?
Well,
Me?
Not you, bro. I'm talking about when the powers that be are subjugating. They know who the black people are. But when it comes to actually helping those black people, that's why in America, when black people wanted help, they call them minorities. Because when you call them minorities, you can help other people other than black. You can help women, you can help gays, you can help all others, right? And this is the con game that we fall for. So, like I said, people of identifiable indigenous African.
There's people that you
Have you been to Africa?
Yes.
Have you helped anyone in there?
Of course. Today.
Yeah, have you done anything?
Of course. So today I trade with Africa, right? And even though I don't, it doesn't matter. But I trade. I hire Kenyans, Nigerians to work on projects I'm doing, right? But what I'm saying is, let's make it clear, right? This is a
What
black.
projects are you talking about?
I make cards and games and stuff.
A what?
Illustrations. I pay
Video games.
I wish I'm not there.
Cards.
I've seen you like you doing.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, this is a black betterment building, right? Meaning that black people identifying that.
Yeah, humans. We are the best commodity. We are what makes proverbially the world go round. Even though I don't think it goes round, we are what
we have makes the world.
We're what makes the world. Our time
the world.
and our attention and our focus. So if you put your focus in one system, you're empowering it. That's basic magic.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
you're empowering it by putting your energy into it. You know what I mean? So you're looking for a ruler. You're looking for a system, guidelines, a group to join, a book to open to tell you the truth. And there's someone there waiting, knowing that you're going to look for that, and they're going to provide it for you.
America was not able.
All the while, you're not looking within. That's all I'm saying. I'm not arguing with guys.
We must look within, you're right.
Yeah, all I'm saying, you got to look within. If you think you want to build up a whole group of people, for me, it's just a marketing strategy for him. Black betterment building, like you say that all, and it's all catchy and like nice catchphrases. You come across like a salesman, and you're selling it, and you've got all these catchphrases and power words, and to me, it's not real. Especially when you're really just trying to get money. I know that's what you're trying to do.
So you saying that is that what he's trying to do?
This is what I believe, yeah. When we talk about the economic side, you want to elevate that you've highlighted a demographic, you've found out a need that they have, and you're going to deliver that. You're going to deliver that. No, I'm cool. I want water. Yeah, please. And I'm gonna actually deliver this carefully packaged thing for this group. So I say, yeah, black people, 58 times in a sentence, black people, and then all black people come like, oh, he's talking to us. Yeah? And then I'm like, look, I've got something for you. Let's all get together, join my WhatsApp group, and it's like, all right, cool, but you know, maybe just talk to me, and we just talk about other issues, and if you want me to join your group and turn it into, I'm not interested. I don't think that I'm gonna find no liberation from a group. If you tell me that's the only way to get freedom, because I'm saying my thing, he's saying it's not tangible.
But could he be a startup?
Okay, you're starting to build in Babylon. I hear that. How long? Let's be real. Start for what? 10 years. You want to start for 10 years? Because what I'm saying to you is, regardless of what you think about me or whatever, yeah, I know for a fact that no one's going to leave, well, majority of people will not be leaving the system until it is too late. I won't want to leave the system until they have to, or until there is no system. That's the only time that we as people are going to feel empowered enough to go out and live like a human. Until then, we're comforted by all these things. We call it oppression and blah, 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 but we're still comforted by the system. The thought of getting more money or joining, oh yeah, we're going to get more businesses, black businesses, cool. But that's not going to solve actually what's wrong in the world. That's a very naive way of seeing what's wrong in the world. And that happens when you don't have a spiritual eye. So you think that our problems are only material when they're not. We can have all the richest people in the world.
That's where
you wouldn't say white people, yeah? White supremacists who is banded about. So they are the richest demographic in the world, white people. Whoever white people are, yeah? That big group, so they're rich and they're enjoying life, and the rest of us, you look around, you don't see that. Some white people are living a more financially affluent life than we are, or than you are, but that doesn't make him happier. Doesn't mean he's any closer to peace. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean he's getting heaven or hell. It really has no bearing. The quality of life, I think, is important. You need to have a good quality of life. So I'm not saying, let's not have nice things. things and blah blah blah. But if you're actually going to say that you want to bring solutions to a whole race of people, don't tell me that it's about finances. Don't tell me it's about money and business, because that doesn't make sense. It's got to be about communication. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It ain't. It ain't. No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. I'm not a Rastafarian. I'm not a Rastafarian. Thank you. Why'd you have to say it in that accent? Okay, cool, no problem.
Oh, your people, all of a sudden he's no Jamaican.
Don't feed the trolls, don't feed the trolls. Carry on building.
Come back!
You know? But yeah, man, that's all I really had to say about it, content. Get me? That was it. That's all. Huh? You got here late. Yeah, man, that's it. That's all I was really going to say. I want to tune into their build and see what they're saying. You know what I mean? Yeah, yes.
To resist encroachment.
What is the topic, right? The topic is, what is the solutions for black people, right? Yeah? Solutions. Yeah. So,
you know what, let's have a topic. Let's have a topic where you don't use the term black people.
Say that.
I want to hear him speak without constantly saying black people.
What's wrong with the term black people?
what's wrong with that, man?
I want to hear him speak without constantly saying. Any man that has to say the same phrase over and over and over, I worry about.
Indigenous African people, African heritage people. All right. So all African heritage people.
So what about people that are melanated but do not come from Africa? Don't have a heritage in Africa. In their opinion.
African diaspora.
You believe that everyone comes from Africa? Do you believe everyone comes from Africa?
I believe the world comes from Africa.
You believe all humans come from Africa? All right, that's Darwinism. That's Darwinism. The out of Africa theory is Darwinism.
What are we talking
That links us to being
What are we talking
monkeys.
about, bro? What are we talking about?
We're just talking about you heard
The
what I
thing
said,
is,
fam.
we can never actually start something.
We just started. I just said something
That's
to
the
you.
start. That's the start.
I just
Yeah?
said something
Is that
to
the
you.
start, brother? All right, that's the start. So we're trying to work on solutions for African heritage people. Yeah. There you go.
What if you don't believe your heritage is from Africa?
Well, listen. It's like, let me make it more clear. Right?
You have to tie it to a continent. Otherwise, you've got nothing to say.
It's like this, right? Right now,
You can't say Africa or black people or and then you're going to say this is why black people
You know
can't get
what?
along.
Why you saying
Have I said a word? When I talk to this brother, dude, doesn't let me get a word in. Doesn't let me get a word in.
Who said I'm against Africa?
Every time I speak, the man like his own
Why
voice.
are you so obsessed with Africa? Are you not a human being? Tell me something about something
Because
else.
we have African
I understand
heritage.
you are. You've come from Africa and you live it and you direct. But what about those that don't?
We identify as, don't it?
What about those that don't?
Because we're in the
What about those
diaspora,
that
bro.
don't? If you're coming
African
from-
diaspora.
If you're coming from a perspective of all black people are from Africa, then what I'm saying is, I think that there needs to be a refreshing in understanding of history, and detaching.
Let me break it down,
Okay, cool.
yeah?
If you're only talking to people from a certain continent and those that are sure they are from a certain continent, then you are alienating a lot of people. That's all I'm saying.
How do you identify yourself?
That's me, Jedi. My name's Jedi.
You're Jedi.
My name is Jedi.
Right.
That's what I go as.
Okay,
To describe myself is a whole different kettle of fish.
so if you're filling in a form,
You're not,
if you're filling in a
Yeah.
form, and they ask you to tick what like race.
I don't.
Oh, you don't identify with any
No,
race.
I don't. On the form, I don't tick nothing.
So you're
Why?
the first.
So that they can say, oh, he identifies as black and stereotype me anyway. I don't. That's a trap. Why am I gonna? I don't need to tick.
So other people don't stereotype.
When you
If another person,
We have a different strategy. Let's go. Hold on, bruv, Jedi, we have a different strategy, right? Now, I identify as black, African heritage, whatever you want to call it, I do, right? And I've identified that white supremacy places at the bottom. And if we don't come together and we have all this funny name stuff, we're going to remain there. So the only thing to do is what all other people groups do, come together and build ourselves up in all areas of people activity, right? That's what it is. Don't speak about, be about, and I'm being about, innit? That's why I have a collective. If you identify as black or African, you come to me, we network, we try to help you on health, literature, self-esteem, justice awareness, whatever it might be, economics, whatever it might be, whatever needs to happen to build up a nation, the people who are most oppressed by systematic white supremacy, right? Now the thing with me, every time I debate with black people, I love it, but it's always this kind of language that makes us not stay on code, and everyone's shouting, anxiety goes through the roof, and we go home.
But that's the
there
way
is
your
no
people
solutions.
talk. Why don't you talk to someone else then?
Well, bro,
If you don't like the anxiety, you say every time you talk to black people, it's anxiety for you. Then maybe you're talking to the wrong people. But I talk to black people, I don't feel anxious. Yeah? You're on this labeling thing, you know. Labeling bare people. Every time this is why black people, and you're gonna rewind the thing, you're gonna hear this brother say, black people, 110 million
who
different
we talking
types.
about?
Black people, black people, black people, black people, black people, black people, black people.
Jedi,
It's like
maybe-
a catchphrase.
maybe he just
It's a marketing
referring to those
strategy.
people.
You're talking about your demographic.
He
You're
tried
pitching
to
your business
elevate those
to.
people only.
It's like this, right?
But it's cool.
I've
Shut your damn mouth.
I've identified, right, that people who identified or identify as black or African are the most mistreated collective group I have witnessed, right? Meaning, we need to come together to have a strategy. So all this kind
my
of
brother.
arbitrary language is distracting us from that strategy, innit? That's what I'm saying, right? So that's why I don't want to focus on, let's call ourselves this, or let's be me, and I'm an individual. I'm saying every other people group have come together and bettered their reality. So we've observed that. Let's now do the same. That's it.
They've
If you
all come.
disagree,
They've all come.
great.
Every other group has come together
Well, obviously-
consciously.
Now, obviously, by osmosis.
Then,
By osmosis.
subconsciously.
By osmosis. By osmosis.
That's the point, innit? We need to start
So are you saying that in you're from Ghana, yeah? So in Ghana, are you saying that all the black people in Ghana do not work together?
I'm saying that within the
Do they work together?
I'm saying tribe. No, I'm saying within the tribes.
Okay,
yeah?
cool. But
Look,
they got their tribe. Do the tribes work? Do they work with each other?
Even at
Do they work with each other?
informal trade.
Cool. Do they work with each other?
We're not talking about.
Okay, so then we're talking about all over Africa, there's examples of black people working with each other. Right? So we're not saying that black people can't work with each other.
No, that's a broad thing.
Are we saying
That's a broad
that?
statement.
Are we saying that?
Of course we can.
We're saying black people can't work with each
But we're
other.
trying to make it happen.
So are there black nations where black people work with each other? You're saying that doesn't exist? That doesn't exist. Okay, cool. So you're talking about black people over here in England. You're talking about yeah. But you just said that you got someone from Australia to join the group.
Let me explain. This is a local, global betterment. So you work on local, and then when you're locally in a good place.
What's more local than yourself?
Listen, Jed, can we agree or disagree that black people, in all places, outside of Africa, are at the bottom
In
of the
all
ladder?
places outside of Africa.
Yeah, and
so
even in some places in Africa,
what is that?
still at the bottom
So
of the ladder.
what is that ladder? What would you call that ladder?
The economic ladder.
The economic ladder.
They're in the bottom, in terms of wealth, yeah?
Wealth.
In
Health,
terms
wealth.
of treatment, opportunities.
Okay,
Yeah?
okay.
In all other
So-
places, they're discriminated against.
So what you're saying is that we're gonna get all black people to rise up on that ladder.
We're trying to. That's the
Where we're gonna get all.
that's the endeavour.
And
That's
so,
the goal.
so
That's
the
the
thing with
endeavour.
a ladder,
It's not-
the thing with a ladder, someone's got to be at the bottom holding it, right?
No.
Yeah.
So you do
That's
know.
how,
You
yeah.
do know.
There's people. There's people.
No,
there's
no,
people- all right.
no.
So what I'm saying is,
You're not going to get every single
Okay,
person.
we're not.
You're not going to get every
Who
single
are we gonna
person.
get? Who are we gonna get? Look, black people in England, yeah, are envied by black people in other countries because their perception of what we have and what we have access to, yeah, we're envied, yeah. And then you got black people over here. You agree with that? Yeah? You got your mouth wide open.
Until
I'm
those
just
same
saying.
people find themselves in your position.
You done a big one.
That's
didn't
why
you?
it's a local global betterment, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why it's a local global betterment, isn't it? You bet your community, then you start trading.
I don't know about local global betterment. Like, all these catchphrases are nice and
But you know
shiny.
what?
I don't know.
You're the king of sexy
Local-
talk, bro.
local-
You're the king of sexy talk.
Local, what's it? Local global betterment. I don't know about all that. All I'm saying is, there's loads of generalizations going on here.
Listen,
yeah,
one
but I
I
do
don't get
agree.
people that wanna
I do
talk specifics all the
agree
time.
that black
Generally,
people,
Yeah, you go.
black people have been perceived to be at the bottom of the social economic ladder. I do agree.
Who's a
I
black person?
do agree that people that match my
is a black
description, people that match my, I would speak for me then, yeah? I'm not going to speak for black people because that's not even a term I really want to use anymore. People like me that look like me, I've noticed are at the bottom of the ladder, yeah? Socially and economically. However, I also know people like me and the rest of us can also choose to overturn that. We're only at the bottom of it because we are conscribing to it and carrying on with it. Yeah? You're not facing any opposition. All we was talking about was economics. See, you keep thinking that you're getting beaten down, and I'm not. I'm just talking about economics. I've already given the
I don't think
analogy.
you're
Yeah?
beaten
That I'm already talking about the. I agree with what you were saying. However, I don't think.
Let the example
Let
happen.
an example. If I started to do importing, and me that I started to do importing and collecting stuff from another country, what do? They raise up the taxes.
I agree. That's
How
fucked
do I
up.
succeed?
That's fucked up. So what are we gonna do? Join the system and then find a better way. Huh?
There you
Build our
go.
own ship.
Marcus,
Build,
go.
when you say build our own ships, you mean actually do our own thing.
Yes.
This is what I'm on.
What's wrong?
Yeah,
What's
that's
he talking about?
that's very different. But then that's opting out of this system because you know you're not going to be able to do your own thing within the legality of this system we're in now. So something's got to
Not
give.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
not next week.
Yeah?
Now.
Something's got to give. So we all have found some agreement.
Yeah,
That
we've been
for
agreeing
us
on
to
this.
Yeah,
for
we've
us,
been-
yeah,
we've
but
been
what I'm
agreeing
saying,
from
but
Monday.
I'm hearing stuff like non-tangible and rare. What I'm saying to you is, you're gonna build your ships, blah blah blah. So what is gonna happen is we're all now gonna get off to work on Monday and build and save a little money for our ship fund.
No.
And then
Saving.
what
Yeah,
are we gonna do?
No.
Jade,
You might
what are we
ridicule
gonna do?
that.
I know what I
How
do. I go to Nigeria, I pick up some shea butter, I give it to you, and you trade it to someone to make.
Right.
Yeah,
Done.
that's cool.
There you go.
Okay,
Done.
I'm down with
do you
that.
wanna go
I'm down with that.
Nigeria?
How is what? I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. I'm down with that. And then you know what? Me and you, as Nigerians, and our Nigerian people are gonna benefit from that, and that is great. And we become richer.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then what we build.
Build what?
We're
build.
self-sufficient.
You're gonna build your
self-sufficient.
happiness.
I build a
Are you
trade-
gonna build?
I
Are you
build
gonna?
hold up, I build a central trade center for anyone that wants to get information, and I work it with them by building schools, by building more businesses, and helping each other as in a brotherly love.
I definitely agree with you.
Well, we're
But
talking the same thing,
I definitely agree with you. However, maybe it's your wording, but I don't hear so much of the. Do you know what? I don't hear so much of the. We need a business plan. See, this is what I was hearing, and that was annoying me.
Who said the
The business.
business?
Okay,
Who said
but
that?
then I'll say this, is that in the format, as I said to you, in the shea butter, if I can make the poorest man make an extra 50 quid, which he can take 20 quid out of that 50 quid and put it into a credit union, then it can work
And he's
again.
richer, and he's richer, and he's richer, and he's richer. I get all of that,
Yeah,
but like,
it's
no,
not about
I know you
us.
lot don't like this example, yeah.
It's not about
I don't,
richness,
but
though.
I know a lot of rich white people, yeah, and I know a lot of unhappy white people.
Yeah.
So rich people that match up to their phenotype does not grant them some magical line. Some magical line of happiness or liberation. So what you're talking about is building up our money financially, and you know that's cool. I could do with a couple extra quid. Yeah, but that is not a solution for what our people are facing. It's not.
a
You
beginning.
understand? It's not a solution.
Hold on.
Our problem isn't financial.
It leads to self-sufficiency.
Freedom.
What is our
Do you think it's all to do with
What is our problem?
It's the monetary system that we are all involved in, and that's not just a white
You
person.
said our problem isn't financial, but then our problem is part of the monetary system that we're
Most of
part
the-
of.
most of the-
I said, what's going to liberate us isn't going to be fine. What is not going to be what's going to liberate us is not going to be a financial thing. And you ain't going to build a business that is going to liberate the black man.
You've told us what it's not.
Yeah?
Now
You understand?
tell us
So I just
what it
said,
will be.
but like obviously you're against what I'm saying.
No,
so
I'm not. I'm
so
just
you
asking
are
you
though.
a
You are.
question. I'm
Step
just asking you a
forward.
question.
Don't be shy to say what you want to say. Innit?
I am saying what I'm saying.
If you disagree with me at any moment, be free to tell me.
I'm expressing
forget
myself.
the monetary thing. I said
trying.
the main thing that we need to focus on first and foremost is the agricultural part of things.
Yeah, I agree with
Learning
that.
how to
I
how
agree
to
with
grow
that.
crops,
I agree with that.
learning how
I agree
to irrigate crops,
And
land,
not
and
letting
the
Monsanto
essential things.
And this is
Learning
what
how
I'm
to
saying
educate.
about
All right. Do you think, that once you're doing your black betterment building,
Yeah.
If he says this, no.
once you're doing your black betterment,
How can we move forward?
once you're doing your black betterment building, and you've got businesses and stuff, and you're trading and stuff like that, how is that going to liberate us? And
I tell you this, once we start to build, right, once we've got sufficient amount of money rolling and business and resources, there's not one politician that we cannot buy.
But you're okay. So can I just say? Can I just say?
In
Can I
that
just say
format.
two things here? You're still subscribing to
What I'm saying
finances.
is, how-
You're still
I'm saying, how can we
fiat
move
currency.
forward?
And secondly,
No.
secondly, you're talking
How
about
can
buying
we come
politicians.
from where we are today?
No.
How are we
When I
moving
say,
forward?
when I say
Do you want a system with politicians in it, man?
Wait.
Do you?
Wait. As long as we're in this country, we need a hub.
Okay.
Yeah? We need a hub.
Do
We need a hub regardless.
you need politicians?
In this country, yes.
Why?
So that we
So that you can remain within the
How do we do
system.
it?
No.
So you have no desire to end this system.
We need to.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because what did I say to you? Where did I get the shea butter from?
Nigeria.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm building that back
You
there.
could do that now.
Yeah, I'm
That's
doing
nothing.
that now.
And you will
I'm
get,
doing
yeah.
that
But
now.
what I'm saying is, you can get rich off that. You can get rich off that.
No. I'm doing
I
it
can get
now.
rich off
Yeah,
that.
anybody
This
can
ain't
get
about us being rich.
No, but I can. once I'm sufficient, then I can get people from here and send them home.
Okay.
And let them rejuvenate themselves to come back to have our
So that they're rich.
here.
So that they're rich.
It's not about money.
It is money though.
Does Richard Branson
It's
talk
money.
about going to
It
his
does.
bank account?
It's money. It is money.
Alright, does
It's
Richard
money.
Branson go to his
Boy,
bank
it's all
account?
about
His
money.
I don't
All
even know.
about
I don't
money.
even know.
Does he
I
look at his
don't.
business?
I don't even know if he spends money.
Hold up.
You
Does he look at his
understand?
business?
We're not-
Look at his money.
I understand with you. I'm not sure what he does. I hear your point. But what I'm saying to you is, we don't want to compare. One second, brother. One second. I don't want to compare myself to Richard Branson. I don't want to get to Richard Branson's level. Can I just say? Yeah.
Okay, I'll compare it with Don Cotton.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
The richest man in Nigeria.
Okay, that's great for him. Yeah. But there's a
And he
rich.
made his money from concrete.
I hear what you're saying.
So he's empowered the country.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he
No,
has.
he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
Why?
Because he's got a lot of jobs. He's
That's
done
good.
a lot of work.
That's good.
in Nigeria
Jobs,
itself.
money,
Yeah?
work. I said if Nigeria was Dubai, yeah. If Nigeria was Dubai and contained some of the richest people in the world, which it actually does, yeah? If Nigeria, majority of people in Nigeria were above the average of incomes in the world, would that change our position as black people? No.
But why are you
So
watching-
being richer,
Hold on.
you understand
But
that?
hold on. Why are you watching what's outside? Why are you watching what's outside?
I don't get that. What do you mean?
Because you should be watching what you're doing, regardless if that man's richer
But
than
you lot talking about black
us.
empowerment.
Yeah, we're talking about ourselves. It's not a race. It's not about race. It's about leaving a legacy for our new generation.
A legacy of this fiat currency. Money. This is what I'm saying. You're not getting what I'm saying to you. I hear what you're saying.
I get what you're saying, but it's not about money. It's about my 5 generations deep.
It always goes back to money.
It goes back to my
always-
5 generations deep.
It always goes back to, if it's not about liberation,
But so I'm saying,
it's about money.
How's it about money?
Yeah? If it's not about liberation, it's about money. And we get so confused.
What is the source of money?
We link our liberation with money. That's what we do. You know what I mean?
What is the source of money?
Our attention and our energy. That's our source of money. So we shouldn't put it into that system.
So if I concentrate on my source, then I don't need the money, do I?
I agree with you. You're mentioning the money though. You're mentioning the business,
No, I'm talking about business.
and you said it's going to empower
Did I
people.
ever mention money?
You mentioned the richest man. You did. All right, listen.
I said sources, resources.
All right, cool. You mentioned the richest
In
man.
forms of trade.
I don't know if I can hear properly because man's chatting right behind me.
And what I'm trying to say to you, Dan Cotti, the richest man,
Yeah.
his source is concrete.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Yeah?
and then
So he
he employs.
concentrates on concrete.
Can I stick on that point?
Yeah, go on.
So Don Cotti, he is the richest man in Nigeria.
Yeah, in the whole Africa.
In the whole of Africa,
Yeah.
And he deals in concrete. Yeah, he employs 1,000 Africans.
More than that.
10,000 Africans. Yeah, he employs 10,000 Africans.
More
and
than
pays
that. More than that.
20,000, a million Africans.
Yeah.
He employs a million Africans, and they all off making concrete for him by helping his business become viable in the world state of finances. Yeah. How is that? How is that liberating the Nigerian people from white supremacy?
White supremacy, you got to remember, the currency you're talking about is owned by white supremacy, yeah? But if I'm concentrating on what I
You're joining the currency
Hold on,
game though,
no.
bro.
If I'm concentrating on the resources, eventually they want to use their currency. This is why certain people wanted to make our currency out of our resources by making our currency in our own gold.
And they killed him.
Yeah.
And they killed him.
But-
And they kill any of you that have tried that. They kill any of you that tried that. Because that is liberation.
Hold on.
Yeah? You understand?
Hold on. That idea is still on the table. It will come back again.
Just remember, just remember that
100%.
if you're working from one figurehead, it's easy to kill. But if you're working from different businesses, they take one company out, another company will replace, like a drugs dealer.
Thank you.
Right.
Period.
But you
believe
believe that white supremacy is so big it controls every aspect of our reality or our world right now. However, you don't think it's big enough to control the stock market.
We're not dealing with that.
You are though. If you're gonna go and flop gold, if you're gonna
hold up.
wait.
Where's the trade center?
You need the participation of others to make your currency worth it. If no one wants your currency, it ain't worth nothing.
Okay, hold up. Let me mention one thing.
That's true.
Right? Let me ask you one thing.
Yeah?
If Nigeria could refine oil, yeah? would they come to them or not?
I don't know. What do you mean?
But they don't refine oil in Nigeria?
What do you mean?
They just export it.
They just get the raw form
And
they
export
get,
it.
and go to
Export.
British Petroleum and they refine it and then they bring it
So
back.
they export it.
Yeah. So
And they store it in Nigeria.
It has to change.
The storage.
And it's changing though.
So if that changes,
So how can we refine oil in Nigeria?
how can we find Nigeria?
How can we do that?
People that are here.
Which people?
Learn how to do it over here in the UK.
Black people.
Black people
Do I
in the
need to?
UK.
Do I need to?
And then we-
Wait.
So how do we
Do
get
I
to
need
do
to
that?
join the group to learn
You need
this?
to join a group to learn it. Yeah.
Do I need to join Black
Good
Building?
question. Good question.
Yeah,
Good
you do.
question.
You
Do I
do.
need-
You do.
do I need to join Mount
You do
Mellon?
need to join because it's
Like this one, you need to join his club.
connecting.
You need to
it's
join his
Do I need
club.
to go on? Do I need to go on Raven's phone?
Yes.
For that? What to
Yes.
learn how to refine oil?
Yes.
Well, you have a way to refine oil?
Because
So this is the phone, you know. This is
But
the phone.
he'll be the boss. Don't forget, he'll be the top.
All jokes aside,
I'm minding you. I'm minding you.
all jokes aside, right? I think all black people should have an each one teach one mentality,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I agree with
And
you.
that's what Mount Mellon is. It's
Yeah,
each
yeah.
one. So I might not be the most smartest person of all time.
Who's
but
doing the most
maybe-
teaching on Mount Mellon?
He's
Who-
the boss.
who-
He's the boss.
who-
There must be a leader.
Who's-
There
no,
must
no,
be a
wait,
leader. There must be a leader.
Who's doing the most
ain't ready
teaching?
yet, man.
Who's
You're
the
not
best? Who's your
ready
number
yet.
one teacher?
Who's the director?
let me ask
Who's the
you.
director?
Oh, wait.
Who's the director?
Wait.
There's many.
Who's the
so many.
director?
Is that business?
You won't find
Is it-
them.
Wait, man. Wait, my brother. Wait, my brother.
I'm ahead of a drug.
Wait, man. Can I find Mount Mellon on Company House?
Yeah.
No, it's not a business then.
It's not business. What is
It's
it?
just a WhatsApp group.
It's a name for a collective. That's it. It's a name for a collective.
Who's the boss?
Now,
you got my company.
Who's
You
the
can
boss?
buy my company.
I know
There
about
must
you
be a
and your
boss.
companies,
There
mate.
must be someone head. Who's the head?
I know about your
I'm the
company,
major
bro.
admin in the
Oh, you're the major.
I'm the major admin.
Oh, you the major.
Because I'm the one who set it up, and I'm the one who puts the code of conduct to minimize black people fighting themselves.
I get that.
That's what it is.
But once EE goes down,
Who's the treasurer?
yeah.
Who's the
But once there's
treasurer?
no electricity
Who's
for
the
you
treasurer?
to plug up your phone,
Who's the treasurer?
you don't have them 400 people.
There's no treasurer.
Them 400 people are gone.
But
Yeah?
if we stop them from getting
Drop your phone in the bath and Mount Mellon is finished, yeah?
hold
So
on.
you're telling me?
That's
Hold
no
on,
treasurer.
hold on.
There's no treasurer.
Hey. But if you can't get the minerals from Congo, you have no phone full stop.
There you go.
Right. 100%.
The thing is, we're just trying to get black people to come together. This is all.
When you try to get black people to talk together, so
Hey,
you go around everywhere. Wait, you go around everywhere trying to get black people together, and
Go
everywhere
buy
you
this
go,
book. Go buy this book.
wherever you go, you find people that don't agree with you.
Melanin,
Black
if there is
economics.
not a white man,
Listen, yeah.
I'm not joining. I want a white man.
Liberating people. That book is. Show that book again. Show that book again. Liberating people left, right, and centre. That book is. Go and get that book. Your problems will be solved. Join Mount Mellon and build a business. Start transporting shea butter from place to place, and black people are going to be liberated. Yeah, make sure. Yeah, go and work for Don Coty. Yeah, and do
Dangote.
The proof is in the pudding.
I hear that, man.
I'm going to America on the weekend to go and
the mic
trade.
up.
Don't know.
And I want you to make a lot of money. And
step
I'm
up.
not agreeing with that. And I even will have the cheek of asking you to borrow some money. I will ask you to borrow money. I don't even mind. Rah, Terry, you just smashed it. But what I'm saying is, we're all into money and finances and having something in our pocket and seeing something for our children. We're all into that. That ain't nothing new.
Shall we talk
Trying
about
to use that to galvanise the people is not going to
Shall we
work.
talk about the
You
other
understand?
topics then? Shall we talk about, because economics
I think-
is one topic.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There's health, there's literature, there's self-esteem.
Literature.
Yeah.
Let's go into literature.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, with Mount Mellon, it's a collection of different.
Let's see if you can include these right behind
Yeah,
you.
bro, you might want to jump in.
what's up?
So
Okay.
what
You're
we're
talking about literature on Mount Mellon.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mount Mellon. Is it melanin?
Melanin.
No.
Melanin.
No, I thought we were saying Mount Mellon.
Melanin.
Huh? Mount Mellon. Mount Mellon. Like Mount Gay. Is it like Mount Gay? Do you mean Mount like Mount Gay? Do you mean Mount like Mount Gay? Ask him if he means Mount Gay, like that kind of Mount.
But listen, all jokes aside, yeah?
Mac what?
Melanin.
The idea is for black people to come together.
Can you spell it out for us?
Hold on, bro. In all different areas of activity, innit, right? So if you're not into economics, that makes sense, right? But you can come because of literature, health.
Tell us about the literature.
So basically, there's people who are aspiring to be writers and be promoting famous written works that was done by black authors that you might not know of. It's trying to promote black activity, innit? Because it isn't that well promoted. That's what it is. It's
So it's promoting what? Black activity.
Well, black literature.
Black literature. Black books.
So black authors. How
So you could just Google black books and then get what you're getting out of that group.
You could. But then what happens?
What's the specialist offering of Mount Melanin about black literature?
Because we have black librarians, black people who own bookstores, whatever, who might have more informed choices, and some people just might actually look. That's it. But people come together.
All right, so that was literature. What was the other one? Health.
Yeah. So people promote you like maybe like how a vegan diet might help you, maybe lessening the meat intake, and maybe how to train. Maybe, I don't know, bodybuilding. I don't know what.
Is it bodybuilding, like black specific bodybuilding?
Well, the thing is, this. Remember, every group that
is it dealing with like fast twitch muscles and that.
It's like this, right? When Europeans go to,
bro, you use black people, yeah.
When
you use the phrase black people, and you affix it to everything, yeah. African, black people, melanated people, whatever you want to call it, and that is what that's your demographic,
Jedi.
And it comes across as a marketing strategy, but it's not. But that's what it is. That's what it is.
I'm trying to get black people to fix themselves.
But then it's not genuine.
It's like a business.
It's keywords and phrase words that don't make no sense.
I disagree.
You got Mount Melanin, a fitness,
His marketing is business.
a health section, yeah. I don't think you mentioned in the health section is not even specific to black people. You're talking about veganism, yeah. You're talking about veganism. You're talking about weightlifting. What else?
Regardless of what we're saying.
All right, this is what I'm saying.
This is
break down what's in your
wonderful
group.
It's strategy to talk to because you keep talking over
It's a massive WhatsApp group. It's a massive forum. Like group chat. It's a massive group chat.
Bro, listen, Jeff, it's like this, right? It's all jokes. What I'm saying is, that's a strategy, right? That's a strategy.
It's true. And it's tangible. And it's tangible. It's all about tangibility.
It is about tangibility.
No, about
Mr. Sexy Words here. Mr. Sexy Words.
The white man
It's all about tangibility.
But what I'm saying is, that's a strategy, right?
But one thing we agree on, yeah? One thing we agree on, in fact, there's a lot we agree on. I'm trying to pick holes in them and play and just mess around, but seriously, we do agree on black betterment building. No, I'm joking. No, but we do agree that people like us are in a lower standing in different degrees in the world, and we do need to find strategies to bring ourselves up. Yeah.
How do we do that?
My only difference with him is on the importance of economics. When you're talking about bringing a whole group together, you can't galvanize them around a failing system. Yeah? Agriculture, I wouldn't say is a failing system. Neither is black literary, reading books in it, or any of that stuff.
Everything we say is going to be torn down by the gentleman, right?
I'm not tearing it down. I'm picking it up.
He's not tearing it down. He's picking it up on TV. On TV, he's picking it up.
I'm picking it up.
He's picking up your stuff on TV. He ain't bringing it
Not
down.
everyone can get on the train.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we extend the olive branch.
I'm not a trainer
If
kind
you're a
of
black
guy.
person, you work with the joint to help
See, this is the thing. He said not everyone can get on the train, but not everyone can be a train driver. You understand what I'm trying to say? The difference is you want to be a passenger. Yeah? You're going to be a passenger in this system that you are joining. You're going to be a passenger. And that's what I'm saying. You're not going to win that financial war. You're not going to outbank the Rothschilds. You're not going to do it. Yeah? You're not going to outsmart them and create a new system within the system. So you either opt in or you opt out. It's Babylon. You can't join them. Sorry, my brother. No, but all right. Let me just say. Why do you want to join this system that is failing humans everywhere? It's not just black people. Everyone is failing. Only a few are benefiting from it, and then a few under that are benefiting from it. White privilege. They don't even know that. Most of them don't know. But even if they are, so what? You want to get on the same level economically with a white man in order for you to feel free. Do you not understand that the rich white man and the poor black man are both in jail? So I think we got a difference in terms of the scope or the gravity of the adversary and the oppression that we are facing. You know what I mean? I don't think that you can join the system and then improve yourself in the system, especially if the system is designed for you to fail. If the system is designed for you to fail, you're going to fail. It's designed for you to fail. You're not going to join the system that's designed for you to fail and succeed. you've got to opt out of that system. I think that's common sense.
So no matter
But
what we
not
say,
tangible.
No matter what we say, that is your conclusion, right? And we
Is what?
respect that. That's your conclusion, isn't it?
No, I don't.
That's not your conclusion.
No, I wouldn't.
So what is your conclusion?
I love my black
No matter
brothers.
what you say.
I'm telling you, listen.
Yeah, but according to what you've said so far, then yeah, my stance is staying.
So what I'm saying is, when it comes to what we're building, right?
Yeah.
We have different areas of activity. Economics and the system is one thing, right? But there's other things.
You're building.
So do you believe in each one teach one philosophy?
See, there's another catchphrase. Each one teach one philosophy. Do I believe in learning? Yes.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be part of no one's buzzwords, bruv.
Okay.
Each one teach one philosophy.
Right.
Come down to Mount Melanin. And that's what we do there. It's a catchphrase. Smile. I'm not into that.
Right.
But I do believe in being able to teach each other.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
I do.
So what we're saying is, we're trying to find ways to get black people together to work on solutions, isn't it?
Who do you want to get together?
Black people. We're African heritage, isn't it? Yeah? African people together, right?
So you want to get everyone from Africa together?
No. So that's impossible. What I'm saying is by having a code of conduct,
People that identify with Africa.
people who are working on a solution, getting them together is key.
Why do we keep saying Africa? Like it's that landmass.
African people, I said African people, and some of them are in Africa, aren't they?
But you
Some
not wanna,
African people in Africa,
do you-
some
do you
outside
not-
Africa.
Are you reaching out to Aborigines?
Yeah.
You think they're African people?
No. Well,
No.
Hold on. This terminology now, right? So
Are you reaching out to Aborigines?
We started having a defense from white supremacy, right? And we've identified that white supremacy placed what they define as black people at the very bottom. So Aborigines are classed by them
No, at the
as
very
black.
bottom of what?
As what you said, the social-economic ladder.
Of what?
Social-economic ladder. And that
Okay,
includes-
so and that is the system. I just want to clarify.
That's the system.
Okay, so now your thing is we've been placed at the bottom of a system
Right.
by the creators of a system,
Right.
and your thing is to use that same system to get on an equal level
If you don't
with
have
the
any
creators
unity,
of
you
the
can't-
system.
if you
that
have no
create the
unity,
system for us
you
to be at the
can't-
bottom
you
of the
can't tackle no
system.
system.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
With no unity, and
You can unite all you want. It's not your system. Am I correct?
Listen, in order to change something, in order to replace white supremacy with a system of justice, you need to actually have some kind of collective power.
Listen, Master
There's
can
no
let you in the
individual-
house. Master can let you sleep in the bedroom next to him. Master is not giving you the deeds and the title to the house. You're still in his house.
Let's take it from the
You
man.
understand? Well,
Take
that's what I'm
it.
saying. Or let's burn down the house.
That's it.
Let's burn down the house. This is what I'm trying to say, fam.
Listen, all I'm saying, Jedi, I'm saying this, right? What
I
I'm
know
pu-
it makes sense.
I'm part of the solution. I'm pushing forward. I don't see you
No,
part of the solution.
you're part of a WhatsApp group, bro.
Listen,
Yeah? Don't keep
you-
saying that
you-
you're part
you
of the
can
solution.
minimize-
You're part of a WhatsApp
Within
group.
that WhatsApp group, people are learning, they're
But-
trading, they're
learning
they're
within
building
the-
their self-esteem.
You're making it seem
And
like a
persons not
university.
doing that.
You're
Once
making-
you have to go
You're
to.
making- Fam, let me see your phone now. Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone now.
There are
No.
black people here, right?
Let's get a sneak peek into
Listen,
Mount Melanin.
listen,
Come,
right?
follow me.
Hold on,
Let's see
right?
your phone
There are
now.
black people here who are members,
I know.
right?
Let's see
You
your
have to
phone.
talk to them.
I want to see the group chat.
If you talk to them, then
Hold
you
on.
can.
Show us the group chat. Show us the group chat.
What do you wanna
Show
see,
us the
bro?
example of the people learning in there.
Well, so you want to see people posting information and people responding?
You said that. You said.
Are you at that level of trolling?
You said, yeah,
You
yeah.
at that level of trolling? That's where you're at, bro.
It's not trolling.
That's trolling, bro.
Listen what I'm
Jedi,
saying. It makes sense.
you're successfully
It makes
trolling.
sense. It makes
what
sense
you're
what
doing
I'm
is
saying.
minimizing black people moving
I'm
forward.
not.
You are not
I'm
part
not
of the
minimizing
solution
black.
to push
I
forward.
said, show me.
Rude boy.
Show me.
You
You
show
said-
me your
I-
solution that you're part
All
of.
right. Let me
You
finish.
show me
Okay.
your solution
Give
you're part
me a
of.
second.
Go,
I'll show you.
go.
All right. Boom. I'm going to show you.
Go.
And the way I'm going to illustrate it, yeah, I'm going to illustrate it by showing you what you shouldn't do, yeah? I've been accused of being airy-fairy, yeah? This man has said that he has the solutions, yeah, in his group, yeah? He has over 400 people in his group called Mount Melon on WhatsApp, and he has a solution. In his group, he has people training and learning and teaching. Now, I've asked him to show me examples of that. He has his phone, so he has his group here. Can I see an example of that? No, I won't see an example of it. So then this is what I'm saying, yeah? If you want an example of how to be realistic and look for solutions, you've got to stop looking at people that are trying to sell you dreams.
Have you noticed he's gone? Have you noticed Jedi's gone past the question?
I'm not going past
Is he
the question.
living the reality he's preaching?
I'm living
Is
it.
he living off the land of the system, or is
I'm
he
living-
working?
listen,
He is working.
did I say that, though?
Yes, you did
Did I
say
say
that,
that?
and I've concluded you, innit?
Wait.
We can both play that kind
Did
of
I
game.
say that?
That's what it is,
Did I
bro.
say I'm living off the land?
So
You asked me
so
what
why
I-
are you doing
you
that?
asked me for
so
my
are you living
suggestion.
your solution, Jedi? No, you're not.
Say that again.
Are you living your solution?
All right.
No.
I've given you solutions.
Oh, but you don't want to live the solution you're giving. That's my point,
No,
isn't
that's
it?
not-
I'm
that's
living
not-
the
that's
solution
not
I'm
the
giving,
point.
innit?
That's not the point.
Now, yeah,
That's not
I've
the point.
said that black power.
All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, you said enough. Let me explain myself.
I'm saying
No.
enough.
You
spoke
said
for like 2
enough.
hours, bro.
All right, let me say what I'm saying.
It's
Yeah.
the Jedi show.
Let me
It's
say.
the Jedi show.
Thank you.
That's what he's doing.
Thank you.
Yeah?
So,
Like I said,
anyway.
have your speech. When you're ready to speak on a one-on-one, we can.
All right,
right
cool.
now, I've
You're not going to show us what's in your group.
Show and prove.
I told him.
Show and prove.
This
Show and prove.
is the second conversation I've had with man. Yeah. So you will know that man is
Who,
like.
is anyone
Wait,
here part of
finish.
Mount Melon?
Wait.
Is anyone here part of Mount Melon?
See what I'm saying?
Is
It's
anyone
getting
part of
peak
Mount
for him.
Melon? Ask them, innit?
It's getting peak for him.
Ask-
All right, but I'm talking now.
Sean,
You
been
said it's the
talking for an
Jedi show.
hour.
Let me talk. You don't want to hear my response.
But you've been
So
talking for a long time.
yeah, I have, and I've been chatting since. Yeah, and you've been telling me that, Raj, you know what? I don't know where your solutions are. I had never heard your solutions. I've had an over an hour-long conversation with this dude. It's on YouTube. You can go and see where I completely went over and over and over and over and over the same simple solutions. Today in this conversation, I've mentioned the same thing. But what he does is downplay it because he don't think it's relevant. But when I do it to him, he tells me I'm stopping black people, I'm stopping black betterment. That's all I'm doing is returning the favour, yeah? Your shit, listen what I'm
Living
saying.
off the land is a good solution, bruv, right? But I'm saying that's like step 17.
Why is
You
it step 17?
Because when you talk about a collective group, right, not everyone's going to be on the same page. So the first thing you have to do is trying to get people together to get them on the same page. By just saying these certain things, they're not together. So me trying to get black people together so we can have that conversation is important. But because we're so divided, we're not together. So your great ideas are not going to hear, my great ideas are going to hear. So the idea is get them together to talk. You don't have to do stuff with you. You don't have to like give blood or anything like that to join the group. You just join it, hear other people's opinions, and have that debate. That's what I'm doing, right?
So it's a group chat. But you're going on like it's some super business that's going to fuel the revolution and it's the solution to our issues. Because when I'm talking about things, you're calling me airy-fairy and saying it's not tangible. But really, what your tangibility is you've got 400 people in a WhatsApp group and they're talking to each other.
I'll be the first.
So I'm doing the same thing as you as facilitating conversation. That's all I'm trying to do.
Okay.
I never came as a messiah. I never said, come and join this. Come on. I'm just talking. You approached me for a conversation. And now I'm giving you the conversation. You don't like what I'm saying. You're telling me I'm not giving you solutions, yeah? But I tell you, listen, simply, the solution is not to join further into the system that is oppressing you. Yeah? That's all I'm saying to you, yeah? Now, let's have an open debate, let's have a conversation on what the other solutions could be. But don't tell me I'm not being tangible when your only ideas are to build inside of the very system you claim is made to oppress you.
Right, now 10 points for that, right? That's good, right?
I don't need your points, bro.
Now, it's like this, right? 10 points. What you're saying, I'm saying there is a step to this, right? And I'm saying is the fact that you're not part of the solution now means that you're not.
You can't tell me I'm not part of the solution. You think you're part of the solution because you got a WhatsApp group. Stop saying that. Stop saying you're part of the solution. Stop saying that, though. No. Yeah.
Are you going to do another tangent?
The Black Betterment Building. What's it?
Another tangent.
Yeah. Mount Melanin, yeah? Now, if you're not part of Mount Melanin, Jedi, yeah, and you've got ideas in your head, you're not part of the solution. This is his logic.
I disagree.
Yeah? This is
That's
his
not
logic.
what I said. That's not what I said.
You can't, if I'm not living off the land right now,
Jedi won't let me speak for himself.
if I'm not living, but how many people have I inspired to think about living off the land? How many people am I involved in that have allotments that live off the land? So what I'm saying is, yeah, all I do is speak, yeah, and talk about things, yeah. You say you have solutions, and your solution is a WhatsApp group. You can't call me intangible.
When I say tangible, the reason we say things like WhatsApp group is because we know that many black people locally have these connections, right? And we're trying to make ease of connection.
Without WhatsApp, you wouldn't have a group.
Now here's what it is.
So you depend on the white man's phone system. Without WhatsApp, you wouldn't have a group. Without a phone, you can be independent and free and liberated. You understand? It's a big difference.
It's like this. Normally, you would want to meet up at certain halls and discuss things, right? But there's a challenge to that, innit? So you have to try to have as many different activities that bring people together. Thank you for the offer. You're a good man, yeah? See what I'm saying? So WhatsApp is one that within the WhatsApp you negotiate meetings, you come together, you might discuss health.
So how many people have created or had a meeting based on today?
Not today.
Oh, based on this week.
You're a good man.
This week.
What, this week?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I would say maybe two. I don't
Two
know.
people.
I know
So
of.
two individuals have met up.
No. Groups of people.
Two separate groups of people.
Yeah, what I know of.
Two separate groups of people on your group. So why are they two separate groups? I don't get that. What do you mean?
So what is, right, it's a collection of individuals, right? So if there's a black person who wants to know how to say farm, right? He'll go in the health and go, is there anyone who knows how to farm? Yes, there is a farm. And if someone goes, yeah, then they'll network and they'll come together and they'll ask, so people come together. But without collective groups that...
So could we do this on Instagram?
You can do, of course.
Could we do this on Twitter?
You can.
All right. So then you're not offering anything unique then?
Well, here's what it is, right?
In fact, on WhatsApp or Twitter, I could do that with a wider range of people, right?
And you should do.
But I hear what you're saying.
You should do.
I hear what you're saying.
If I've identified that black people are collectively at the bottom, right?
You've identified.
Hold on, friend of mine.
That's another key phrase.
Am I wrong?
I've identified.
Am I wrong?
I've
Am I
identified
wrong?
that he's done some major research.
Am I wrong?
How did you come up with that?
Am I wrong?
You just have to look around you. You've not identified. You've identified the obvious. I've identified you've got 2 arms and legs.
It's like this, right?
I've identified.
It's fancy, bro, didn't it?
I've identified you've got the smiley face earring in the
This
ear.
conversation.
I identified.
You're trolling. This conversation is for those other black people who also identify and see themselves placed in an inferior position, right? And because we're at the bottom, we're starting a solution, right? And the solution is to find tangible ways to come together.
We're at the bottom.
All I keep taking is that you want to be on the same spot as the white man.
No, we're at the bottom. Once you say that you're at the bottom of the economic ladder, that means you want to climb.
We're talking about all areas of people activity. So we're talking about health, we're talking about economics.
Are we at the bottom of health?
self-esteem.
Are black people at the bottom of health?
Well, listen, if we're not eating right, yeah, we
Are black people at the bottom of health?
If we're not eating,
Look around you. Wait. Look around you. Are black people at the bottom of health in London? Because you're not talking about Africa, you said. You're talking about in London. Are black people at the bottom of health?
You've got to judge things from a local standpoint.
Black people are the most healthy people in this country that I can see.
Really?
That's what I can see.
Really?
And yeah, but I don't think that this. Bear in mind, I don't think that people in England or Britain are healthy anyway. I don't think people in the world are healthy.
There you go.
But
So
if we're talking about a degree of healthiness, I wouldn't say
So if we're living by the English diet, are we
are
not
the most
healthy?
unhealthy.
Yeah,
mental
both,
health.
both. So I'm saying it's about getting black people together to discuss these issues, isn't it? And you have to use tangible ways.
We need to set someone.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is we can ridicule people. If I've identified them at the bottom, that means we're going to be at the bottom when it comes to find a solution. And if that means being in a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group, so be it. But if we're not talking, we're not finding solutions. This is me being practical, bro. Tangibility. That's
What
all it is.
solutions have you come up with in your WhatsApp?
Say again?
What solutions have you come up with in your WhatsApp?
So we can't talk about the economic solutions because that's going to cause anxiety.
No, I'm not anxious. That's another word you use every time you go on camera. Anxiety. Now, bruv,
what else is
now
there?
you're psychopath, bruv. We're not anxious. Like you tried to say everyone was confused the other day. We're not confused, bruv. We know when we're talking. Like, we're just not as smart as you. That's what you really mean. We're not as clever, we're not as clued up as you.
What you're doing, listen, I'm
There's no anxiety, bruv. Unless are you feeling anxious?
bro.
You heard me. You heard me. You definitely heard me. Are you feeling anxious? No. So then talk about the financial stuff if that's what you want to do. That's your shit.
Like I said, bro.
Own your shit, man. Own your shit.
This guy. When black people come together, bro, and discussing the issues, that is better than them not doing it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Now, then people who believe this have to form networks and collectives to do that.
Okay.
So you know what?
I agree.
Everything I say might be bullshit.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with none of that.
But the thing is,
you remember what our one thing that we're disagreeing about is, isn't it?
If we're
You remember what the one thing is that we're agreeing about, isn't it?
yeah. So if we're not together, how do we discuss it? If we're not together, how do we discuss it? So I'm saying, bruv, you're more than welcome to join the collective, see what it's about, and then leave if you don't like it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Sorry, there's another conversation happening right behind you.
And we don't even want that energy
Not
around there.
trolling,
Want
not
that
trolling.
energy around there, man.
Hey,
Don't even want that
trolling,
energy
bro.
around there. You shouldn't even give it camera time.
Right, so look, like I said, right, if you identify as black, I'm saying let's come together and work on solutions, isn't it? Yeah, if you disagree, so be it. But I run the collective group that's doing just that, innit? Everyone's welcome, innit? Now, Kalam's come here for the second time, brother, and he's kind of like throw the topic off, but he's doing the thing, innit?
My bad.
It's the second time now. But no, but you can join in, bruv, innit?
Yeah.
So it's kind of, what's
so this topic is black betterment building.
Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it not?
That's a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
All right. So you think it's good for black people to come together to build themselves?
100%.
Right. And build on economic growth, health growth, self-esteem growth, and so forth.
100%.
Right. So what's the challenges facing when we try to do that, in your opinion?
Coons and white people.
Okay. All right. Facts. All right. So at Mount Melon, we don't use certain kind of language. Right? We don't mistreat black people.
What did he say?
Coons. Right.
What coons and white people what?
Yeah. Are stopping black betterment building, right? What I'm saying, within the collective group, we don't use certain language, right? If a black person doesn't identify as black and is dedicated to sabotaging black betterment, you can call them non-black identified, or you can call them white identified. But no problem we use derogatory terms to describe them, because I'm trying to write code that allows people to come together without fighting each other. And from my observation, that kind of language pushes us aside. Do you know what I mean? A code of conduct. So all I'm really doing is form a code of conduct that allows people to get together, and that's why I'm trying to be honest with my Jedi. Get me? Right? Well, that's
Fuck that code of conduct.
Okay.
To the Africans. Fuck that code of conduct.
What did you say?
No code to the Africans.
What?
You say that because probably you know.
He's not
You
subscribed
know where
to
I'm from, my
Africans.
brother.
Because he's not African.
What? There's some Africans who don't subscribe.
You not going to do your thing. What? See what?
That's
They don't subscribe to the
To what? To being Africans.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Listen. I hear all that.
You need rules and regulations to be African, my brother. You need puppet master to be African,
I'm not
my
puppet
brother.
master.
You need puppet master to be in the group and all them things there. But that's what it coming like, no, bro. That's what it coming like, no, bro.
What's your name, bro? What's your name, bro? Self.
Yeah.
Do you want to come and debate?
I'm here, I'm chatting.
So it's like this, right? I hear what you're saying, makes sense, right? But the problem with black people collectively, right?
The problem with black people.
That's my problem, bro.
Always the problem
the problem with humanity.
The problem with you. The problem with you.
He's speaking from the African perspective.
Why does it only have to be from one perspective?
You're Ethiopian, right?
Chinese do that. The Arabs do that.
Are you Chinese? Are you
Wait. So wait. He's from Jamaica. Yeah? He's from Morocco. You lot are telling him that he doesn't have a perspective.
I've never said that to you, sir. I've never said
No,
that.
the brother there. You gave a very small-minded connotation of your views, bro.
No, what I'm saying, man, he's speaking from the African perspective, meaning
So what am I
that he's
speaking
talking,
from, bro?
he's talking to the African people.
What is the African
we need to
perspective?
close the doors
What is the
before we
African
deal with
perspective?
everybody else.
My brother, what is the African perspective?
What is that? So when you say African, do you mean all the dark-skinned people in Africa? Or anyone that lives in Africa?
What did Bob Marley told you?
I don't care about Bob
People
Marley.
talk. He said, as long as you're a black man, you're in Africa.
So what I'm asking you is, when you're talking about Africa, are you talking about all the people that live in Africa, or only the dark-skinned, highly pigmented people? Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about all Africans that live on the diaspora everywhere in the world.
But I'm asking you specifically, are you talking about, is that including everybody that lives in Africa?
Including them.
Everyone who lives in Africa is not African.
So who is African?
Equally, everyone who lives in England is not
African?
English.
The whole humanity now is African.
But who in Africa is African? Who are you deciding? Because he said not everyone in Africa.
I'm talking about black people. The so-called black people.
Black people.
He's
So when you
talking from
describe
that
black people,
perspective, Jedi.
when you say black people, are you talking about a race? Are you talking about a phenotype? Are you talking about a nation?
I'm talking
Who
about
are you talking
race.
about black
I'm
people?
talking about the so-called race.
So you think there's a whole race of people called black?
Well, according to the Europeans, because they have the power of definition. They have that. Yeah, they call us blacks. No,
Everyone.
So you go by the definitions of the Europeans, the same people
I'm not
that you see the post
if you wanted to-
so why would you go by?
If you wanted to
I
go
by me.
But listen.
Yes, I know
but
you
listen,
go by
listen,
you,
listen.
but we're
listen,
talking
if you
in
wanted
terms
to go
of linguistics.
if you wanted to go by
understand
your,
each other, I have to say, look, black, white, and this and that.
they also called you Caucasian.
Caucasian is an area.
They also called you Caucasian. Also,
No, they call them Caucasian. They're the Caucasian.
no. You're
Because
going
they
wrong.
came from the Caucasus Mountain.
All right, when you go and do your research, you go and see. When you go and do your research, they called you Caucasian first. You understand what I'm saying? So all them labels, you're missing people out. His family live in Africa right now. His family are in Africa right now. And his family are enslaving blacks.
Indigenous from North Africa.
Where is he from?
I've had my DNA.
Where is he from? I hear that, but where is he from? How do you know what his people are? So all Africans look the same. We're all the same skin tone.
Listen, this is
How many nations are in Africa?
How many nations are there?
They're not all the same people. Everyone in Africa is not even the same people.
Jedi.
Let alone everyone around the world. You think everyone in Africa is the same people?
You're taking away from the hold on. Taking away from the conversation. We're saying what he's saying. Well, my understanding of what he's saying is that hold on. When you form a group, yeah?
He's unhappy with that.
Hold on. Just hold on for a second. When you form a group, yeah, any member of the group identifies with certain things that the group adheres to, right?
Yeah.
So if you either by definition, self-definition, self-identification, whatever it is, if you identify with that particular group and you see that practicing group economics is also personal self-interest, that will help you, because if the group grows, you grow. But being part of a group doesn't stop you from being an individual. And it's not to say that every African or every black person has to join
You
a
use
particular
terms like
group.
Africans, yeah?
Well, yeah, because...
No, wait. I'm down with the group. I think you do get my perspective, though, don't you? You do, innit, yeah? So for anyone else that is confused, I'm sorry, he understands. I'm down with the group. I'm down with all of it. There's certain aspects of it that I'm just challenging when it comes to the economic side of things, yeah? And I'm also challenging frequent use of the terms black men and Africans. And when you're saying Africans, I'm trying to establish who are you talking to? Africans. Well then, that's a very big group of people. And the man behind you is melanated. The man behind him is melanated.
We're talking about
The man to the side of you is melanated.
Division and racism.
everyone's got melanated.
Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade, right? Let's call a spade a spade. White supremacy has identified
Is that what you're grouping yourselves together with? Pigments?
No,
Is it down to pigment?
Let's go
Who's in your family?
Let's go back to the original thing that we said. Black people. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
See, that's why I say black. That's why I say
The
black.
Chinese do it.
Hold on. The reason I say black is because if I don't say black, there's so much confusion. That's why I say black.
Okay. You know what? When you start calling everyone black, we start playing silly games, yeah? Certain man wouldn't call you black. You understand? Certain people wouldn't say you are black. They say you are not black. They say you are an Indian. Yeah, you are actually an Indian. Genetically, you are Indian. Yeah, and your relatives come from Asia. Yeah, and they're infiltrated our lands. Yeah, this is how they're gonna treat you. If you go to what's the Ugandan? In Uganda, you got many people that look like you. That are Africans. Yeah, but if you saw him on the road, you wouldn't call him an African. You wouldn't look at him and identify with him as an African. No, you won't. No, you wouldn't. You're lying. You're lying. Because if he turned around and said he was Asian, if he introduced himself as being Asian, yeah, you would not deny it.
I should answer that.
It wasn't a question, but yeah.
When it comes to mistreating quote-unquote black people, we know who they are. But when it comes to black people coming together to build themselves up, who are black people? Are you black people? This is the challenge I've seen, isn't it? So that's why we have...
What do you mean? I don't get what you mean by that. When it comes to mistreating black people, we know who they are.
So when you talk about the slave trade and colonizing kind of countries...
Who talks about that though?
Well,
Me?
No, you, bro. I'm talking about when the powers that be are subjugating, they know who the black people are. But when it comes to actually helping those black people, that's why in America, when black people wanted help, they call them minorities. Because when you call them minorities, you can help other people other than black. You can help women, you can help gays, you can help all others, right? And this is the con game that we fall for. So, like I said, people of identifiable, indigenous, African...
There's people that you...
Have you been to Africa?
Yes.
Have you helped anyone in there?
Of course. Today...
Have you done anything?
Of course. So today, I trade with Africa, right? even if I don't, it doesn't matter. But I trade, I hire Kenyans, Nigerians to work on projects I'm doing, right? But what I'm saying is, let's make it clear, right? This is a
What
black
projects are you talking about?
I make cards and games and stuff.
A what?
Illustrations. I paint
Video games. And,
I wish I'm not there.
Cards.
I've seen you like you do.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, this is a black development building, right? Meaning that black people identifying it. Black people identifying.
Every time I hear it, black people. How many times has he said black people today?
Bruv, let me finish the building. Black people realizing that they're being mistreated for being black, right? So having the solution. Do you think that's a good idea or bad idea?
It depends. I mean, it depends what you call African.
No,
Do you call us
He wants to
African?
make sure you don't leave him out.
Will you deny us the right to be African?
No.
I'm Algerian, he's Moroccan.
You guys are.
And we spoke about this. I've had my DNA test. Would you tell me? Can you tell I'm an African?
Do you have
I've got 42% African, and I was born in Africa.
Okay, do you have a Tunisian passport?
What's Tunisian passport got to do?
Where you from?
Algeria.
I am an African. You've got no right to tell me I'm an African because you are darker than me.
I think his point comes from
Do you understand me?
the fact that Moroccans, Algerians,
No, this is what it sounds like.
places
Do you know
in
anything
Africa
about North
are now
Africa?
called the Arab world or Arab.
I can't identify with you. I can't tell you what you are. How can I say what you are?
2% Arab. Yes, I have my
Not you
culture.
personally, but that's the point he was coming from. innit?
Yeah. And do you know who we are? Do you know the Amazigh people in North Africa? I am the Amazigh. We are the North Indigenous African. Where did you come from? You lot say everyone comes from Africa. Yes or no? You lot. Everyone, every single brown man, because I wouldn't say black man. I wouldn't say, yeah, that's you believe it. Yeah, that is, yeah.
The oldest remains come from the eastern, central.
So everyone came from Africa.
What are we saying?
No.
You can't talk Scientology. You can't bring Scientology facts.
Scientology.
That's not science.
Listen,
That's what you just said.
He said scientist.
okay.
Buddhist religion.
Scientists. All that shit's the same, bro. Scientists,
Listen,
Scientologists, theories and
When
bullshit.
I've had my DNA test, yeah, we live in North Africa. We used to be brown people because I wouldn't call black people. Yeah, we don't call. There is no such thing as black man. Yeah, black is black. That's black too. Yeah, that's color black. We're all a human being, one race. If there is any other race, that has to be the rat race or the dog race. You understand?
We are beings.
Okay, whatever you want to call it, but you're not talking about color. You're talking about color, my brother. No. You're talking about color. You're trying to deny us because us in North Africa.
Who's denying?
1 minute. He was telling me it's not my genetics. It is my genetics. Do you know what's my genetics? Have you seen it?
This is anxiety. This is anxiety.
You haven't seen it. Have you had blood tests? You've seen it.
Let me deal with
You know.
Every time you say anxiety,
I've seen them.
Listen,
you know how to say that same man's crazy.
listen,
You can't just say
this man is
anxiety
seeing it,
and
and if you want to see it, it's here. You understand?
If I say you're not African, it's going to upset me.
Yeah, because you can't tell him he's not.
Why should I do that?
Because
Listen, my
oh,
brother.
wait. Because by rights, genetically, he's probably got more African blood in him than you do.
I have 42, brother.
Why
Do you
not?
want to see? Do you want to see? Do you want to see?
Why not?
believe it because man's late.
You want to see?
You don't believe it
What?
because man's
Yeah,
late.
42%.
Yes.
42%. How much percentage do you think he's got in him?
He needs to do.
Do you even understand that genetics?
How much? How much? He doesn't. What does it mean? Like the genetic company, I don't conscribe to that anyway. Yeah. So I believe they could chat shit to you. I don't conscribe to the whole genetics. I don't believe in. I don't believe in. But what I'm saying is, you don't believe in that. And what I'm saying is, you believe in it because you said earlier you don't believe in Africa. And one Africa, and when I'm asking you who are Africans, you lot are shaky. Who's African? Oh, the dark. Are you 100%? Only dark skinned people.
Possibly.
Can any one of you say 100%? Possibly now. It's not 100%.
You may find.
I haven't done my test.
You may find that you two.
Your genetics alone do not make you African.
Listen, everyone. So what makes you African? What makes you African?
Different things make you
Like
African.
what?
Who are you going to tell me
One
the
of the
truth?
things. Hold on.
And he's gonna
Speak. Go on.
Genetics is one of the things.
Yeah?
shared genetics, shared history, shared culture,
That don't make you African, man.
shared traditions.
That don't make you African,
These are
man.
things that
None of
make
that-
you African.
None of it makes you African.
Just like
Can't you
being
see?
English.
The more you try
doesn't
to
just
grasp
mean- hold
onto
on, bro.
what makes you African,
What do you mean
the
you've
more
had
you
it?
try to grasp onto what makes you whatever it is you're so desperate to identify with, the more you realize you're trying to grasp sand. Yeah, it's gonna run through your fingers because it's not concrete.
You brought the genetics argument.
It's
You
not
brought the
concrete.
genetics argument.
He said he was
That's why I say
40%.
black.
That's if genetics.
That's why I say black.
decides
I'm in
anything.
building.
These men ain't African.
I'm not.
Are you telling me I'm not an African?
I asked you for another word for
I'm
black.
not telling you.
I asked you for another word for black. You said African.
I understand that I know African history.
I'm saying-
and
me
my
too.
understanding of African history.
I know my people, I've studied
knows
my
that-
history.
I understand that the people who live in North Africa are not indigenous to the land.
The land.
So
Not
they're
indigenous.
They come from Arabia, Arab.
On the 7th century.
Well, how come
Seventh
my
century.
DNA test it says who gives you that history? The white man?
What?
The white man that give you that
The
history?
white man,
No, it's a
the
combination.
same
Who
white man,
educated you?
same white man
If you
that
let
gave
me
you your
answer the question,
genetic
I'll answer the
reader.
question.
That's right.
You understand?
you
The
let me
same
answer the
white man
question.
that gave him his genetic
Well,
reader.
what makes you think white people?
Not from the
That
white
did
man.
the genetics.
but
First
we
things
read it
first.
from
First things first.
from the
Hold
books.
on.
What
First
books?
things
Yeah.
first.
What books?
The books.
Who's that? Who's
What if
books
I
that?
wrote that book? Would you listen to it?
You did.
So wait, what are you saying? What is the argumentation for? What's the argument?
We start to look at the Howard history from our perspective.
That's why
What am I when you look at me? When you see me, what am I?
I didn't say that.
You want to say black? You want to? No, the thing is, yeah.
Men like me. So why would you not read that book if I wrote it? Who are you getting your history
I didn't say white man. Did I say it?
Who are you listening to when you're reading that book? Who are you regurgitating when you tell people?
Right? Yes. Hold on, fam. Let's do history now. Let's do history. Hold on,
in the Bible and in the book, none of that.
Let's talk about the Amazigh. Let's build.
But this is your Bible.
Let's talk about the Amazigh. Hold on,
Because you're telling
Sell.
And guess what?
So we understand that the Amazigh were there before the Arab invasion,
European
right?
are doing because we had the Romans invading North Africa.
Yeah, now
the
before that
Spanish
point, you guys would have been in Syria.
are more
So
African
the
than
light-skinned
European.
North Africans who migrated
Yeah, and then
to South Africa
20%
would have been like in the Syria
Yeah,
area.
what you just said being the main threat is North African, not Arab, not Arabian.
If you look, there's a documentary called the Black Mummy, right? That tells you roughly
But who
when
are you to say this is not reliable? Are you scientists? Are you scientists? Are you? So you're going to deny us everything? So you're going to deny us everything?
So we have some order though.
Hold on.
This is what I'm
We
telling you.
need to have some order.
Your
innit?
genetics alone.
Yeah.
Because this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're saying they're taking your blood and locating it to an
26
area,
different
to an
areas.
area where we
26.
find. Hold on. Where we find a majority or large group of those people.
That's right.
But they're not taking into consideration
What?
migration,
Yeah.
movement of people.
Yeah.
So just because your blood group or whatever your genetics say that you come from this part of this land doesn't necessarily mean that that's your origin.
So what's happening then the 3% that comes from Southern Eastern Bantu?
What?
Southern Eastern Bantu, that is in my genes.
What I'm
Is that
saying-
wrong
listen.
too?
What percentage is that? What percentage is that?
3.
I don't know.
So bruv, if you're 3% Bantu, the Bantu, but the Bantu
That's
is,
one part.
That's the Bantu is.
And then you got Mali, Senegal.
So the indigenous phenotype of the Bantu is indigenous to the land mass of Africa.
Yeah.
Now your phenotype is seen outside. So there's a
How do you know it's
Let me explain.
outside?
There's a documentary called The
Where's
Black
your
Mummy.
phenotype?
Where's your
The
phenotype
majority is
seen in the world?
22%.
Where's your phenotype seen in the world?
Listen.
Where's my phenotype seen?
Nigeria.
Now, my phenotype is seen in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Alright, this is what I'm saying, yeah?
Your
African.
phenotype is seen in
20%.
Nigeria.
The reason we look like this, yeah? 20% is
You disagree?
all right?
And then do you disagree?
14%
Mine.
Italy, Greece, because we had the Venetian come up to north.
Yes.
We the French. I don't have any French. That's good.
Do you disagree with that?
What exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, and I don't have
laugh.
Caucasian.
You laugh.
But there are Caucasians there, right?
Of course there is.
Yeah.
I'm talking about me
You laugh.
personally.
Do you disagree with that?
I don't understand what
You don't. So you laugh for no reason.
Let's go with the North African brothers, yeah? Because we're getting something. Because you're from. So what I'm saying is.
Don't even say North African brothers. Say your African brothers, bro. I don't want to be generalized.
Well,
You're in the
Say your
north.
African brothers. Don't say your my North
You're in
African
the north.
brothers.
Sorry.
Bro, I don't hear that. Man's African.
Hey,
point blank
Black
period.
Betterment building. Sorry, bruv.
Well, I know one race. I know one race.
Sorry, bro. I'm not gonna lie to
Look, I'll tell you something. I know only one race. We are all human race.
I agree.
We are all mixed. There's no 100%.
No, we know the same.
And you.
Our nature is different from your
nature.
Our nature is different from.
How do you know my nature?
Yeah, but I didn't say you.
But the other race that I know apart from human beings is the rat race.
Yeah, the system.
That's right.
The system, the rat race. Are you in the rat race?
The reason why I say
let's check your rat
the reason why I say black in
Let's check your
Africa
rat
is because in North Africa, white supremacy can be still practiced, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Still today,
and hold on, and at the very bottom you find,
Yeah.
and what's it called? At the very bottom you find the darker skinned Africans.
Of course.
So what I'm saying is, in order to tackle that, we have to have a better group.
Not at the very bottom.
That's why I use the word black.
Not at the very bottom, because the richest man in Africa is a Nigerian. That's
No, but
what's
we've
explained to
described
me.
North Africa, and if white supremacy is being practiced in North Africa, that's why you have to have a
Let me tell you
solution.
something.
Hold on,
Us.
family. That's why you have to have a solution for those black people who are mistreated under that system.
everywhere.
See, us the Berbers, the Amazigh in North Africa, we've been oppressed by the government, by the Arabs.
And that's right.
Yeah, and we've been suffering this for centuries.
And you should come together to stop
We
that.
tried every time they
Why?
do that fucking shit.
And that's why you need to have a code of conduct. You have to come together.
You're on segregation, though, bro.
Well, first of
And I
all,
was born there.
segregation.
Maybe we need to separate ourselves from those people.
let me tell you,
Where do you want to go?
If somebody's being oppressed in your time,
If you're telling me that's what it needs to be, then you and me shouldn't talk. But I'm saying, fuck this because you're opting for segregation.
no, we're not. You're not.
We just don't want to be with you.
That's right. Your group is segregated. Your whole business thing is segregated.
It is. You know, can I just say, Can I just say, sorry, my brother. Can I just say, I think everyone has the right to employ or include whoever they want.
Do you know what
I don't
you
think.
go
Wait, can I
concentrate
just say?
on?
I don't think you need to worry about his segregation or what he's doing.
like it.
Why? Why? He's not segregated. Listen, fam. Look. Everyone can't come to my house.
integration is an illusion
It's
of
my house.
inclusion, bro.
It's my house. Not everyone can come there. What it might be. I might decide that I don't want any white men in my house, and I can decide that if I want that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that's right or wrong.
He's gonna stand outside my house and be like, I don't like that. Well, that's wrong. All right.
You got that choice, but I got opinion whether to say it's right or
That's
wrong.
right.
Can I speak only for 3 minutes to answer that question, right? What I'm trying to say is, when you identify certain groups being mistreated, it makes sense for those groups
You identify them.
Well, you're trolling them, bro. And that's funny, but I get trolling.
But you use the same words. It's like you read it out of a book. When you identify black people,
It was
poor
never
black
called
people.
Africa in the first place.
When you identify poor black people at the bottom,
Agree?
You know, certain men will sit down and have time with themselves and come to
Africa in
a
the first place. It was a
Your thing don't sound like that. Your thing sounds like you
White
read
man
it,
called it Africa.
practiced it.
So you can't call it
I have
Africa.
to listen, so you don't know what I'm saying.
Why not?
I've heard it, but I watched
Why?
you lot.
The white man gave you that
Like
name.
I
Yeah.
said, the question was
If you don't like
I
it.
haven't given the answer, right?
I don't like
can
yes,
tell-
I
listen,
believe that. The
I've
white
said
man,
it
yes,
before.
yeah.
I said before, I said
It's
it.
a Greek name.
Yeah, I do.
And they gave it to the North African
Let's
first.
have some order. Let's a little bit more. Then we can have.
Also, the
You know that?
reason
You did
Nigeria
any
is called
history?
Nigeria.
All right, hold on, fam.
The Greeks
Black
gave
people,
the name
black people didn't name
Africa
Nigeria.
to the North African,
It was
the Amazigh,
coined. It
us,
was
the
coined
Berbers.
from a
And it comes from Ifri.
from a newspaper article.
Is that what you're going to say?
No, no.
Yeah, Nigeria, where the woman wrote about the land next to the Niger.
Yes.
This is why I don't get it. This is
Yeah,
why
that's-
I
and
say
the
black
next
man
day
the building because.
And we stuck with it.
We took the bullet for you.
Let's try to
say North Africa. Yes, we did.
Let's try
That's why
to
you
solution
don't
that.
understand.
Give the name Africa.
Take that to the bank, my friend.
Hold on.
No, we give
Let
the
him.
name
Come on.
Africa to the people.
Are we gonna have more? We've got 7 people talking at once.
We lot been messed up with every single
7 people
person
talking
that
at
came
once.
invaded North Africa.
I'm saying, yeah, bro, right?
You
Just
understand?
because I'm working on black people on the street
You
doesn't
understand?
mean that mean you
I am
can't build.
passionate from my
It means I'm
country
going to make
and my
systems
land.
to support the
And I
Muslims.
do speak my language
Me and you
and
can
we have
build,
our
I can
own
give you a job, I can talk to you. I'm not going to make a system.
He should go snitch, innit? He needs to go
There's even
snitch.
slaves in Egypt.
If he knows any people in his race that have been racist, come back and report to his friends.
Well, listen, if you are trying to stop racism, that what it's in your benefit to do. What I'm saying is, if you make a group, it's like if I make a group to help women, then that's for women. If I make a group to help people in a wheelchair, that's for people in a wheelchair.
So why don't you wear trainers made by black people and clothing lines? Why are you not wearing Carcani or some other black
black designer.
I'll be honest with you, you've got a black chick, you've got a fucked up goddess on your trainer, just like me.
Why are you supporting all these other people?
You're right, innit? And the idea
my point is, brother,
because you're actually supporting white supremacy by wearing these
hold on.
That's
My brother, my only problem with your thing
That's
is,
right in your grill, bro.
sorry, man.
That's
My only
right in
problem
your
with your
face.
thing is, if there's a white person right here, right now, or whatever person, I don't give a fuck, that's not black. If there's a white people a person right now, that has something of value to offer to your group, why should you move them away?
He's not. He'll accept it. He said thank you.
You would accept it.
Yeah, but you just can't join his club. But why though? You don't need to join his club, fam.
Why?
Fam,
If I can make your club better,
no, you can't. Listen. Let me explain something to him because it's my brethren, yeah, and I know how his brain works. Fam, we have our own private party. Someone comes outside and says, you know what? I'm a DJ. I've got all the latest songs, and I've got 8 gal with me. Can I come in? You say no. It's a private party. He says, well, that's wrong because I could bring so much to the party. You don't work like that. If you got good things to a party, either leave the bitches at the door and say, yo, I'm leaving these, or build up your own party and welcome anyone to come in.
Well,
you understand? But getting mad that he's not including you is just not the way to think, because you want to apply that to any other way in your life.
No, but
do you know what I mean? Let him do his thing.
What you've got going is meant to be extremely positive. But what I'm saying is, in a party situation like what Jeff's just described, I got to be protective of my household. So do you in your group.
Not just that.
So do you in your group. So if you see that
that's what he's doing.
I'm a threat or I'm a disrespect to your group,
He just not
kick me the fuck out.
he just doesn't want you in his house because it's his house.
Yeah, cool.
And he knows who he wants in his house. It's not bad.
If you ask me a direct question, I'll give you a direct answer, right? It's a black Batman building, right? The reason why it's that.
What is it?
The reason why it's
Say
that.
that again, what is it?
The reason why it's that.
I missed that.
The reason is because we have to clean our own house, right? And if, just say in your country, right? Just say there's a dynamic between yourself and black people, meaning people who look like you on average are doing better than people who look like this gentleman in your country, right? All right? I need to give a solution for these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because they're facing the same discrimination that they face in other areas. So I recognize the challenge, and the challenge is because of the phenotype this man has, he's been mistreated, so I need to give him a solution. Exactly. Now, I know you're not practicing racism, but what I'm saying is, because of that kind of dynamics, I have to have a standard, and the standard is working on him first.
Well, how do you know what he's been through because of his skin colour ain't the same as what I've been through?
Well, because I'm talking about systems, so if there's a system that is collective...
No, but the system don't see me as a light-skinned black man.
Cool. But do you think that you, on a whole, which is a bit of a dumb question to ask you, yeah? Do you think that on a whole you witness the same amount of racism as your black brothers?
I could say yeah, because
you
know why as well? Because I live on one of the biggest estates in South London. Yeah, I'm class. Every time I'm stopped by the feds, I'm not an IC.
You live there by choice, though.
I live there by choice.
Yeah, you do.
And other bits. Yeah, but you can say choice. You can say you know shit. You know shit.
You live there by choice.
Hey, what though? Yeah. So if I went on the biggest block in South London, I'm on the next biggest block in South London. So hey, what I'm saying to you, yeah, with that, it comes with what's the saying? Being a product of your environment as well. Yeah, that plays part with the whole race thing as well. I'm not treated as a lighter skinned black man. Me and him walk down the road, yeah, in the society, bro. I'm treated like you are,
bro.
Willie Lynch, bro.
It's playing that trick, bro. Can I just say, yeah? Can I just say? Wait. Can I just say? I would disagree. I could say that if we're going, what's going on? Oh, you just move his head. I would say that if we're talking about stereotyping, listen. If we're talking about stereotyping and we're talking about racism, I actually think from us three, yeah, I'm gonna suffer the most racism.
And that's true.
This is what I believe.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
Dreadlocks, even before dreadlocks, I had dreadlocks for very long.
I agree.
So even before dreadlocks, I think my complexion and maybe my height, maybe an added bonus. But mainly I'm going on my complexion. And I'm not the darkest person. I could put my brother here, he may be slightly darker, so we complete it, yeah?
There you go.
However,
I agree.
Instinctively, I've got a look that's different to him. I probably will get more racism than him because I look like
and I love it.
A troublemaker. He looks like
an African guy that could just be going to work and about his business. This is how they look at things. Do you understand? This is how they look at things, yeah? Maybe my goatee,
So we have to find
maybe
a solution,
tattoos
right?
rare. But I don't agree with the fact that you will experience the same amount of racism as me.
Maybe you know what? Maybe not the same amount, but the same kind is definitely there. Bro.
Yeah, I tell you what will help you.
Every day.
Yeah, I tell you what you will receive. You will receive prejudice, yeah, which is slightly different than racism. I think it's a milder version of racism. But your prejudice will be because of the way you talk and the way you dress and your body language. If you could dress differently and speak differently, present yourself differently, you would not be associated as much with black culture as you are now.
So why
do you understand?
Somalian brothers on the block get the same
because they look black. They look black. No. But understand what I'm saying because I'm not chatting shit. So a lot of what it's got to do is where you hang around with, what your viewpoint is, and the culture you've been brought up into. Because they're not going to automatically see Africa in your DNA. They look at you and say, oh, you're not English, mate. I don't know what you are. Mexican, Spanish, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm not really sure. Mixed with something. And you can say what you are, and then the brain tells you, okay, this is what that person is. Just looking.
You know what he's saying? You'll
be judged them by our colour.
So by identifying people who have that physical African phenotype in them, that's a mistake.
Did you identify anyone?
So what I'm saying is, that's why
he's identified black people at the bottom.
And
it's all about black betterment building.
Right? There was hostility when I said that, but now we've explained it, it seems to make more sense.
So that's all it takes is a better language and understanding.
And there's a challenge I face, isn't it? That everyone thinks that when you do
when you try to attack to black people,
African, indigenous African people, whatever.
Right? What does that mean? Indigenous? That's just
okay. I have to say black people. That's other things. When we say other words,
it's a political label thrust upon a wider range of
Moors. There you go. Was that a better word?
No, it's not.
That's no.
We're not all Moors. We're not all Moors.
What I'm saying is not
original men.
Original men. The people who white supremacists define. The people who white supremacists define as black people. Those people have gone through so much that they need to work on themselves. That's what it is. Because white supremacy is going after black people first, all the people who are identified as black by the white supremacists have to have a defense mechanism, and that defense mechanism, one of them is what I'm doing. That's it. You see? And if you feel that in your country you're going through maybe the Arab culture is mistreating you.
I can't talk for my country too tough because I'm not there, innit? I could talk about South London, innit? And the reason why I came on that point is because, like I said earlier, I can't remember where we were, what we were talking about.
You're actually practicing white supremacy now.
In what way?
Because you're stopping us black people building.
Yeah, I know, I hear that, sorry. But at the same time...
you're stopping us building. We're spending time with you, and we could be spending time...
I'm at IC3 now.
And now I'm now guilty. If I spend any more time with you, I'm guilty.
My man's watched my videos hard.
I'm guilty of white supremacy. So on that note, I can't talk to you anymore.
This guy, he's a funny guy, bro.
But you're wasting time on a non-black.
Listen, bro.
Or is he black? Is he black because he's got African family?
If this man has...
Can I be in your group, though?
You can't be in my group.
He's got family that live in Africa.
African, bro.
You've got family that live in Africa, right?
Do you identify as
You've got family that live in Africa,
I
right?
identify as black. I don't put me to no colour.
Okay, well then, what I'm saying is...
I identify as me, as human.
Do the police treat you like... Do they call you
like a black man?
Do they call you black?
IC3.
Do they call you black?
IC3.
They call you IC3?
IC3.
So what you're saying, you're the same boat as this brother, yeah?
To the police, I am.
Okay, but to you though, I'm saying to me. Do
No.
you identify as a black man?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, right?
Do you identify as a black man? No. What do you identify as?
Identify as me.
I just then back up then, innit? Let us black people deal with our problems. Tell him he's...
What I'm saying is, like I said, I keep saying...
Are you black? Are you black? No, you're not black? Hell no! She went like this. Oh, the thought of it.
When it comes to mistreating people, black people, we know who they are. When it comes to helping them, we don't know who they are. That's what I keep saying. Yeah, I keep seeing them. There's a catchphrase. No one wants to be black, bro. That's why I have to make a black man group.
No one wants to be black, bro. Get me?
But when black people help themselves, that's when people want to stop it.
I don't see anyone looking to stop you. But what I do say is the system of white supremacy that you talk about so much is designed to stop you. So if you're going to build within a system that's designed to stop you, that to me is a fucking logical fallacy. And this is why we keep going round and round in circles. You want to join the system, but the system is oppressing you.
Well, like I said, right?
Black betterment building. When in doubt, black betterment building.
Listen, bro, look, you've got good points. Bro, you've got good points, but at the end of the day...
Scroll the number on the bottom. Put the number on the bottom.
You've got good points, right? But like I said, what I'm speaking for those who understand it, right?
Yeah,
and it's like I said, we're going to disagree on certain
I'd
issues.
still borrow money from you.
start somewhere,
Trust me.
Yeah, and this is the
I
start.
still borrow P from you.
I'm saying anything that gets black people together to work on self is important.
Let's just get people together.
That's what
Let's
I'm
get
on.
people together, and if they're black, it'll be nice.
Yeah, boom.
If it's
And that's
black,
what I'm
it'll be
on.
better.
And then do you know
But-
how empowered you will feel because it's coming from a genuine space.
Well, I'm talking about making sense.
Because you think that
because they're black and I'm black.
you think because if white guys like him,
Hey,
you
edit that out.
you think North Africans or whatever, if you think people like that join, they're gonna detract from what black people are doing, or they're gonna get in the way.
I saying whoever don't identify as black themselves.
You see, because of what your group is and what you're on, it makes me, as what you would call a non-black, want to see what I want. I want to help. I want to be involved.
But why don't you just do your own thing?
I could do my own thing.
You don't have to join this thing.
No, I could do my own thing, and we join up things later. And
All
the
non-black
things even
people love
better.
Were you joining things with man?
Don't start.
I'm gonna loot that.
When
So you not joining your
black
teams,
people can't join with- black people can't join- So it's like this, yeah? Black people can't join the institutions, right? We're forced, isn't it? But when we're at the bottom, we try to start our own, that's when everyone wants to join us.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
They
yeah.
don't want to
I
help
agree with
us,
that.
they just want to join.
I agree with that.
They don't join because we say they can't. But we can't join theirs, innit?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So you can, so we're
Build
building,
our own.
we're building from the bottom, from our own individual structure.
Put it this way: if you lived at, for instance, you lived at your mum's house, yeah? Sorry to use her as an example. You live at your mum's house, and you now have a wife and kids and whatever, and you're still living at your mum's house. And you're like, you know what? I need somewhere of my own, somewhere to call my own. So you go into the front room, you get your bits of wood, and you bang together a little cabin inside of the living room. And you say, you know what? We're gonna live in here. Me and my family and my kids are gonna live in here. Does that make sense? Okay, but that's what you're doing if you're trying to build inside of a system. Yeah, the system is already here, right? You're not talking about alternative systems. We're talking about integrating into the burning house and building in the front room a new house, a mini house in the front room. And as long as it's in a bigger house, it's always going to be limited in what you can do and where you can go and how many rooms you can have. Yeah, let's say, do you know what? These fuckers, they built their houses on our land. Can we burn down their house? Or we just move, and there's other options. So, but we can still do it. We can still do it in a group. We can still do it in a group. And I believe in empowerment for anybody that looks like me. See who you see in the mirror. You should want people that look like that, and people that look like your mum, and people that look like your daughters and your children, because they could be all different complexions, all different races. You should want all of them to be empowered. Want them to be. I want him to be empowered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so regardless if he looks Indian or not,
just because
he's a black person to me.
Just because black people come together doesn't mean we want other sets of
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this one. Let me give you an example, right? So we're going to go the economic route.
Asian and Asian love. Got you there, got you.
So it's like this, right? If black people are not running their own kind of business, if we run our own business, then we can start trading with other groups. So for example, we can sell them West Indian food, fruits, whatever it is, and we have to run our own thing. We have to control it. Does that make sense?
But you actually think that the salvation is going to be within the whole business system?
Well, no.
Sorry, my brother.
It's just one. It's a step forward.
But is it not a step more? It's not a step further into the cell rather than a step out of the cell.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we on that system, so we try to build with team.
You want to leave the system, though?
No. We're gonna leave at some point. But while we're on that system, we just try to do.
But they're gonna notice. They're gonna notice in the jail. They're gonna notice that the tools are going missing. They're gonna notice that scraping sound at night. Yeah, they're gonna notice the bags of dirt. You understand what I'm saying, though? If we're using that metaphor, yeah, if you're building in the system with a plan to escape the system, and the system is designed to oppress you, they're not gonna want you to leave.
We're planning an escape system. For the meantime,
TV stations.
Yes.
TV stations.
You need TV stations. How are you going to talk to your people? How are you going to talk to your people?
I don't know.
That's why you have to own it, innit? That's why you have to own your TV. You have to build your own. Let me wrap up, innit? Yeah?
TV stations. Oprah, the Oprah network.
If black people don't...
Hoppo. Do you want to own a production company?
I wouldn't mind.
Like Harpo. Like Oprah Winfrey.
If black people don't come together to talk about issues,
You want to be a black billionaire?
Right? So I'm saying, let's come together to talk about these great issues that Jedi's talking about.
And when you lot are done coming, you lot can come and check me, yeah? You lot do your coming and then you visit me. On too much coming and going inside, outside, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We're going to slowly creep, we're going to slowly leave. But I don't see that as being feasible. If you're going to actually plan to leave, you're not going to, you know that old analogy, I'm going to change things from the inside out. I don't necessarily know if that's realistic, because once you become part of the system, it integrates you.
It's more likely, yeah, it's more likely.
You know what I mean? You become...
I don't have a problem with coming together and all of that.
have escape plans.
With the military plans. Because when we were
Right.
with that no military.
Bruh, content is saying that we've been talking too long. Right, so anyway, for me personally, this is what it is, yeah. My own thoughts on what the next steps would be, personally, is if we all start communicating on an honest level, where we realise what actually our issues are and what the nature of the prison is that we're in. If you're going to have liberation, if you're going to get free, you're going to know what you're getting free from. And I think that there seems to be a confusion in exactly how big the prison is. So a lot of the plans sound like running from one cell to another, which is not actually escaping the prison. So when I talk about solutions, I'm talking about let's have conversations that mean we actually thinking about leaving this system in the dust and not attaching ourselves further to a system that hasn't served any of us any well. Whether you're white, black, Chinese, there's a minority, they're the true minority, which are the elites. That's the true minority. We are the majority. You understand? What we need to do as a majority, so that's not just black people, that's anybody. But if you see injustice and you don't speak up when you see injustice, then we're not on the same team. I think this is where Raven's coming from. You can be white and love our cause, you can be Indian, you can be whatever, rare. But if you're not going to speak up when you see stuff happening to people, then you're no use to anyone. So it's all good sitting on the sideline and saying, oh yeah, I agree with you. We have to stand up for each other. That is the number one step. We start standing up for each other and we start policing ourselves, governing ourselves. It starts from governing your own self and then we govern ourselves. That's what it's about. And it's not about being divisive, but if a group wants to go over there, let them go over there. If a group wants to stay over, let them, it's about letting people do what they want to do. Stop trying to force manifestos and codes of conduct and this and that. We have been trained to believe that without society, without police and army and all these people, it's going to be chaos. And that's the scaremongering. Oh, we're going to fall apart if we don't do this, if we don't. And so,
police.
Yeah. That was really it, brother. That was it. Go on, Raven.
It's like this. Thank everyone for what they say is good. Here's the solution, right?
Don't say black people.
It's like this.
Don't say black people.
Everyone, like I said, from my perspective, if you're black, you need to have, I would recommend having a black first mentality and trying to help black people in all areas of activity whenever it's constructively possible. If black people do that, you're going to start seeing some kind of change in all areas of activity. If you see me, let's build, isn't it? That's what it is. Black first.
Buy him a roti if you see him as well, man. Buy him a roti.
Who gave me the drink? Thank you, gave me the drink.
No, listen, picking up from where them lot left off, first time here, big up, learned a lot.
Yeah, but why is the white man all in our business?
Hey, shut up! But yeah, no, like I was saying to my brother, it's good that everyone can come here with different passions, different opinions, and like Jed said, we pleased ourselves today, we governed ourselves today, nobody didn't die, nobody ain't get shot, nobody ain't get killed. I disagreed with my brother, I disagreed with my brother, I also agreed with my brother, and I also agreed with my brother. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I love about Speaker's Corner. Yeah. Right, now I know what I want now.